Hello everyone, welcome to the special program, The Hype, where minds collide and ideas amplified. I'm your host, Zhang, coming to you live from China's capital, Beijing City. Well, you can watch this special episode on many social media platforms such as X, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Weibo, WeChat, as well as CGTN.com and our CGTN app. Well, while the nice Asian Winter Games are in full swing right now in Harbin City, today happens to be a traditional Chinese festival, the Lantern Festival. We prepared a lot to share with you guys today, so stay tuned and welcome to leave us your comments and hashtag and tell us how you feel. Well, sitting next to me is my colleague Joseph.
Thank you, Jenny. Yes, we've got the 9th Asian Winter Games going on right now. Still got a couple more days left of that. It's the first one in 8 years, I believe. And we've also got the Lantern Festival happening today. So we've got two events that bring people from all around Asia together to unite and have fun and compete. So we've got a great show coming up for you today. We've got some interviews, some live updates and some video cutaways to keep everybody interested. And we've also got a very special guest in the studio with us today, Ayoub from China Arab TV. It's great to have you here and thank you for joining us. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your role, and what you've been up to lately?
Firstly, thank you for this presentation, Joseph. Thank you, Jenny, and happy Lantern Festival.
Happy Lantern Festival to you too.
Lantern Festival.
And happy Lantern Festival for all our audiences and people who watch us. My name is Ayoub. I'm a Moroccan journalist at China Arab TV, as you mentioned, and I cover key stories that bridge Arabic and Chinese culture and you know, Arabic culture and Chinese culture is a huge culture, it's two huge civilizations also, but we all the time we see each other from the other media, from the third media, not from Chinese media. The Chinese, they watch us from the Western media. We watch the China culture through and understand the China culture and China as a country from the other media. So we try to break these things from our media. China Arab TV is for Arab and also Chinese and let Arabic audiences, because we are 22 countries, and this kind of relationship, our relationship is always good. It starts for many years with the Silk Road. Through the Arabic traders, they come to China, the China come to Chinese traders, or Chinese products come to Arabic countries. So we all use Chinese products, but we don't know the stories behind these products. We don't know the culture behind these products. And same here in China, there is a lot of misunderstood about the Arabic cultures. So we try to clarify these things and create a bridge for these two great nations and people to get more closer to each other and collaborate in many different sectors.
So there's a long history there and you're just trying to keep the connection going.
Yeah, sure. But there is a huge history, but we don't understand it good. You understand, you know, the Lantern Festival now, I guess that a lot of Arabic people, they don't know about it, they don't hear about it. So this is our duty to share with them, to explore this beautiful of Chinese culture, because China has a lot of things that people, they don't understand,
well,
whatever.
I have to say we're glad to have you with us today.
Thank you so much.
To hear more of your insights in
yeah,
the
I'm
show.
so excited to share my experience.
I can imagine. And we have today join us two more guests online. We have Mr. Zhang, who's the protocol manager of the nice Asian Winter Games. So, Mr. Zhang, could you introduce yourself to the audience and explain to us what do you do?
Hi, my name is Zhang. I'm the Senior Competition Venue Protocol Manager of Harbin Asian Winter Games. And I worked in 2002 Beijing Winter Olympics and the nice Asian Winter Games Hangzhou before, also as Protocol Manager. And my main job is working for services, the international dignitaries and the domestic dignitaries, and the OCA family member, which is from the Olympic Council of Asia. So we make sure everything goes good, and also we need to make sure the national anthem and the flags hang on correctly in each venues.
Thank you. And our third and final guest joining us from Moscow is Alina from Russia Today. Alina, I heard you just spent a few days in Harbin covering the games. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your role, and how the last few days have been for you?
Yeah, hi guys, всем привет! So happy to be here. Thanks for having me. My name is Alina. I'm from Russia. I'm a journalist of Russia Today China. And yes, I just got back to Moscow from China. I've spent the last week in Harbin covering the 9th Asian Winter Games, which was absolutely amazing. And can't wait to share with you more, guys, about that.
Welcome, guys.
Right,
It's
thank you.
glad to having you joining us. Well, I don't know, Ayoub and Joseph, have you noticed that we're surrounded by such a strong festive atmosphere today?
Sure.
Well, that's because today is the Lantern Festival. Well, Lantern Festival is traditional Chinese festival that falls on the 15th day of the first month of Chinese traditional calendar. And the history of this festival could go back to as early as Western Han Dynasty, which was almost more than 2,000 years ago. And why our Chinese people value this festival so much? It's because, well, tonight we get to appreciate the first full moon of the Chinese New Year, which for
Wow.
us, yes, is the arrival of spring. So in order to celebrate this, we have various activities. For example, we will go out to appreciate the moon. We'll hold these paper lanterns, and we will guess riddles, and we will also eat tangyuans, etc.
And actually, speaking of riddles, I think we have a few riddles here
Yes.
today
Yeah.
to test our guests' knowledge, both on site and online. And you at home can also have a guess, so leave a comment in the chat if you believe you know the answer to these riddles. So, Ayoub, if you
Yeah.
could pass me that lantern over there,
Sure.
I think we'll find our first riddle inside this lantern.
Get ready.
It's ready.
And here we go.
Wow, what's that?
This riddle, Ayoub, is for you to guess, and
Okay.
it has something to do with the Lantern Festival. So, it is as follows. Pearls in a bowl, the Lantern Festival's soul, filled with sweet cheer, what are they called?
Well, my suggestion, I think it's because we talk about Lantern Festival, which is when we talk about Lantern Festival, we talk about Tangyuan, or as we say in English, they call it rice dumplings.
That is correct. 2 out of 2. 10 out of
my
10.
guess is.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Very good guess, I have to say so, Ayoub. And actually, speaking of Tangyuan and or as they're called in English, rice dumplings or rice balls, we actually have a surprise for you, Ayoub.
Wow, what's that? This one I know it. This one I don't know it.
Let me show it to the camera so our audience can take a look.
All right.
This is our tangyuan.
Rice dumpling, and
Yes,
this
can you guys
because
see
it
this?
says rice and the dumplings inside.
Careful.
And
A little
this
bit
is
of
also
on-set
with
live
multiple
magic
colors.
there for you. But I believe we have some innovative ones here and some kind of traditional dumplings. So would you like to go ahead, Ayoub?
This is a traditional one.
Right. Would you like to go ahead and
I
have a
wonder
taste
how. Yes, I wonder
Yeah.
how it tastes like.
and tell us exactly how you think and feel about it?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Very tasty, very sweet. The black sesame with the rice of bowl, the bowl rice.
Take your time. Take your
It's
time.
really
Take your time.
tasty. It's really what I had in my mind before,
Yeah.
because I read about it a lot, but when I taste it, it's really fantastic. And I believe that, sorry guys,
It's
No,
okay.
yeah,
Because this rice bowl was made of sticky rice. So
Yeah.
in your mouth, it could taste a little bit chewy and sticky. But what's the stuffing inside? Black sesame?
it's black sesame with sugar
yeah, the
and covered by the
traditional.
bowl of rice. And I believe so, this kind of food, if it goes out of China, it will show welcome, especially in Arabic countries, because we like the sweet food, we like this kind of desserts. So it must show something special for Arabic countries.
Yes, you
It
can
has a
see-
meaning, I think.
Yeah, it has the round shape.
Yeah.
Great. So that-
And we comes to the very innovative one, which I also wonder what it tastes like, because I will never dare to try these.
Yeah.
So the
why?
challenge on yours, this one. It's over here.
This one looks different. To be honest, this is my first time I see it.
You can show it to the audience.
This orange one with red,
Green leaves on it.
Yeah,
It looks like an orange.
yeah, it kind of so.
Yeah.
Maybe it has some orange things. Let we taste it?
Why don't you take
Hey,
taste?
sure. You can taste as well.
Maybe next time.
This is different taste. I think it says sweet a little bit, but not that much. I think it's have almonds or I don't the beans, maybe some beans with also sugar, but I think the form and the shape of the taste is different looks than the
Which
than
one
the
do you
classic.
like better?
Always I like the classic things from the classic Chinese.
Okay,
because
then I will never try the
Good.
innovative one then. Okay,
Yeah.
what about this one? Do you want to try one more?
that's enough for me.
Okay, let's show to the audience then. This is the one, because you know the shape of this is quite unique. It's like because in Chinese, in ancient time, golden lingos, this actually is the ancient Chinese money. So why don't you guys take a taste when you're home?
Yeah, especially the classic one. It's wonderful for me. I think it represents the ancient Chinese food, and it's better to keep this kind of classic food. I think.
Yeah, and-
Innovation is good, but not in everything.
Well, different people have different tastes.
Yeah, but if you don't innovate, you never know. So it's good to innovate also to appreciate the classic one.
I know, I can agree. So when it comes to tangyuan, you can notice that the traditional tangyuan is made in round shape.
Yeah.
Well, that's because tangyuan is a homophone for reunion in Chinese, which is called tuanyuan.
Oh.
Can you try to pronounce it?
Tuan Yuan.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
And tuanyuan means completeness and togetherness, and it's all about good wishing.
Yeah, we have in Arabic also some quite similar food to Tanya. You call it like the how to say that kubba. Also, we have falafel, and we have luqaymat. Luqaymat is almost crispy outside and soft inside. It's made by dough flour and also honey syrup. If you this one it's boiled, but if you fried it, it's gonna be almost similar than luqaymat in the Middle East. We have it. We take it like a dessert, especially the Middle East countries. They take it a lot in the traditional Arabic festivals,
Okay.
like Ramadan, like Eid, something like that.
So there's a lot of similarities between
Yeah,
this and some foods in Arab culture as
Yeah,
well.
but behind it there is a values also. Because behind it is a story. So we share the same value with the Chinese culture in that way, like to be together when you be in the traditional festivals like Lantern Festival. You have a family, you have a cup of tea or something like that. Then you put these desserts. It's so good, and it's also the shape is round. Inside they don't have some things, but it's crispy and soft inside. Outside is crispy with the honey syrup. You add it at the end. Can you imagine the taste?
I can't wait to taste it, Joseph.
Yeah, I really want to taste that.
You're welcome, guys. Next time we can try some Arabic food. Why not?
And here comes our second riddle. Well, I'm gonna take it. Okay, let's open it up. Oh. So, you guys ready? We have the second riddle, which is not a flower, but it blooms in the air. Not a star, but it shines so rare. I'm going to take this question to Zhang Di, since you look confused. What's your guess?
Maybe fireworks.
Oh, clever, bravo.
Professional.
Yes, exactly. Well, setting off fireworks is a very important activity in this festival. So, Joseph, do you know any other costume for this festival?
Well, today I've already learned about the riddles, the Tang Yuan, and the fireworks. I'm trying to rack my brain, and you know, I can't think of any more that I actually know, but I'm sure you're a bit of an expert on this. So would you
Of
be able to tell
course.
us any customs?
Of course. Well, actually in China, we have a special term to describe this festival. It's called 闹元宵, which means to liven up the festival.
Wow.
Well, so in addition to all these activities we mentioned earlier, we also have, for example, watching dragon and lion dances, walking on the high stilts, which means people walking on very, very tall poles. So among all the other traditions, I like to introduce in one with, I think it's very interesting. It's called 走百病. If you translate it, it means walking away from hundreds of sickness.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that means people like normally take a long walk on this special day, especially go into some natural environment to better to benefit their both mentally and physically health. So actually we have a video explaining what 走百病 is. Why don't we take a look?
Well, let's take a look.
And welcome back. Now
That's
we
amazing.
have our. It was
They're amazing.
that was really cool
Yes.
actually. Yeah. And now we have our final riddle. So if I can just open up this lantern and find that riddle somewhere in here. Here we go. And this one we're going to throw over to Alina in Moscow.
Oh God.
Yeah, you ready? Get ready for this.
You
This
can
is-
do this.
I think this might be the hardest one so far, so you're in luck.
Okay.
This one is actually very specifically related to Harbin, so it should actually be
Okay.
quite easy for you. But we'll see. Without any more delay, clear and cold, shaped by a tool, it sparkles in the light, a winter jewel.
Oh God. Well, that one is the hardest one. Why I don't get the 汤圆 one? Well, I really do not know, but I've been to I happened to be just yesterday actually in the Festival of Ice and Snow, and the description of the riddle just gets perfectly with the description of the ice sculptures, 冰雕, which I've seen there. Maybe it's that one, like they're clean and big and sparkling.
You know what, Alina? That is exactly right. Ice sculptures is the answer.
Congrats.
Congratulations. A round of applause for everybody who got their riddles right, which was all three of you, coincidentally. And yes, so ice sculptures are a big part of the Lantern Festival, and they're really what makes the city great. And we're going to have a look about how they turn the city into a winter wonderland with this video.
You can not only look at it, but also walk inside it. There's a fish inside. Wow. When you come to Harbin, ice sculptures are a must-see. When you think of ice sculptures, you might think of Ice and Snow World. Here isn't any ice, it's special ice. It comes from the local river, Heilongjiang River, which runs right through Harbin. And that's why it's super clear, just like crystal. You can actually see right through the thick blocks of ice. And this high quality ice is what makes the lights look so amazing and fantastic.
You know, this is so amazing how you build all of this from ice cube. So I'm so happy and glad to be here in Harbin, in China.
How many layers of clothes you wear today?
So I have 3 tights under my trousers and maybe 3 thermal shirts, jacket, gloves, scarf, heat warmers, non-bao.
Wow. Okay.
So a lot.
You are very well prepared.
Yes.
Yeah, I can tell. So what's your impression of the ice and snow world?
Incredible. I've never seen anything like this. In the Dominican Republic, it's only summer. So this is the first time like I'm in full winter, full everything, snow, ice. Incredible.
Is this your first time in China?
Yeah, that's my first time in China.
And why do you choose Harbin?
Because it's like a very interesting place, like very beautiful. We love it.
So how do you feel about this place with full of ice and snow?
No, it's amazing.
It's incredible. Yeah, we have nothing like this in the
Yeah.
US.
Wow, I mean, this place is really amazing. But locals told me that if you truly want to understand Harbin's ice sculptures, you should start at Zhang Park. It's grandfather of ice and snow world.
These ice flowers have been displayed here since 1963, when the first Harbin Ice Lantern Show was held in Zhang Park. Since then, the show has been held every winter and is free to visit. These old photos show that over 30 years ago, the ice sculptures here in Zhang Park were already amazing.
Since the Winter Asian Game is being held in Harbin, so there are also several ice sculptures showcasing winter sports. For this one, I can tell it's curling. This is a good awarded piece. Wow, amazing. Look at all the details.
Zhang Park not only displays many award-winning ice sculptures, but also has a small ice sculpture playground where both adults and children can enjoy themselves.
I think Zhang Park is the best proof of how Harbin people love ice. You know, people here have been turning ice into art, into life, from generation to generation.
Great.
And welcome back, everyone.
Thank you. And now we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to turn our attention to the 8th Asian Winter Games in Harbin. This year we've got 34 regions and countries competing. I think that's a record for the history of the game, so that's really impressive. A few other statistics for you. We've got 11 different disciplines, 6 different sports. We've got over 1,200 competitors competing this time around, which is also a record. It's the 3rd time the Games is being hosted by China and the 2nd time in Harbin. We've still got a couple more days left of the Games and it's really heating up. I've been watching some of the competitions. It's really great. We've actually got a new one this year, ski mountaineering, where they're kind of skiing uphill, which is a kind of crazy thing to think about.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's looking really good, and I'm sure the rest of the games are going to be absolutely spectacular. So this segment, I think we're going to get Jenny and Zhang Di to kick us off.
Sure. Zhang Di, I have a question for you. So, in your opinion, what are the innovative breakthroughs or highlights of this 9th Asian Winter Games?
Yeah, so you mentioned before we broke a lot of records, and I have to say, I think we held a perfect event in very short preparation because we only have 18 months to prepare the games. I think for me, it's a miracle in Asian Games. There's no any former hosting city is preparation in that short time for Asian Games.
That's a very short time because I've heard that normally it takes 4 to 7 years to prepare a sports event like this. So I have to say I'm really impressed. And my second question to you is that how do you evaluate the competitive performance by the various athletes delegations so far?
So amazing. And I think just hoping more NOCs got a medal in Asian Winter Games because there's so many new NOCs participate in the Asian Winter Games. So I hope more NOCs can get the medals from this time.
Thank you, Zhang Di.
Thank you, Zhang Di. And Alina, so you spent some time at the Games and as our resident reporter there, would you be able to tell us some of the more unforgettable moments you experienced at the Games?
Yeah, first of all, I was so honored to be there as a Russian journalist, especially when my hometown is so close to China. So for me, China is always like the second hometown, and I feel undescribable joy every time I get to go to China. So the very first moment that I stepped in the Chinese land just shocked me and impressed me because Harbin made spectacular preparations for these games. Like when you go to the airport, first of all, you can see like the special rooms which are prepared for the sportsmen, for the people who come, because Harbin is extremely cold. I mean, I'm Russian, but I've never felt that cold in my life. It's like minus 27. And oof. So Harbin has even the airport has the special lockers and special rooms where you can change clothes. Whenever you go in the city, you can find some specially built rooms where you can just get warm or maybe charge your phone. The Wi-Fi is in city in most of the places is free, so and everywhere they sell SIM card, everywhere you can change the money. Whenever which country you're from, you can always change it. So it's just so the facilities are so convenient. I mean, and first of all, I think the organization is like on the top level, because as a journalist, as the international journalist, we all got specific gifts prepared, and which were very useful because my clothes was definitely not prepared for Harbin's cold. And it was very sweet of the organizers to give us the warm clothes, which I wear all this time, and I've never felt that warm in my life. I mean, not only from the clothes, but also from the hospitality of the people. And the second point, the second thing that just amazed me is the opening ceremony. I mean, I know that China is just Chinese opening ceremonies for the games are always on level top. I've seen like the Olympic ceremony and it just amazed me. But this time I had an honor to be actually present, and I mean, spectacular. I mean, just amazing. Like I've seen the dancers in the end, they were dancing for 40 minutes without stop, for real. Like when they had the last performance was held, the dancers just keep on dancing for 40 minutes, and I was like, oh my God, I was just so worried about them. And the level of the performers I see, like, and the idea, they went from Harbin to China to Asia, starting from the performance of 56 nationalities of China. Then they made it, first they had like the Harbin national dance, then 56 nationalities of China, the uniteness of them, and then they got to a whole Asia, which was just amazing. I mean, I've never seen such a beautiful ceremony there. And people, like, I had a chance to speak with the journalists from other countries. They were all just amazed. I mean, the ceremony was it's just another level of show.
Well, I have to say, I'm super jealous of you, Alina, to actually get the chance to go to Harbin to experience the vibe. And I also want to thank Zhang for providing such a well support that our Alina don't feel cold and feel such a welcomed in the city and by such event. Well, and Ayoub, I wonder, how do you feel about this nice Asian Winter Games? Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's fantastic organization, fantastic host, but it's not surprised me because I get to see China host this kind of big event, and it doesn't surprise me after we see China, after what happened in the world after the COVID was one of the most important, one of the first countries in the world that host this kind of this kind of event that has many countries. We saw already, and we watched already, and we witnessed the Olympic Winter Games here in Beijing. And for me, Harbin is another level of city. They call it the capital of winter in China.
Yes.
And it's amazing. Without this Olympic Games or Asian Olympic Games, it's already amazing city, especially on winter. So it's touristical place for winter and skating. I always watch the videos and the matches. Recently today I watched one race between one Qatarian. By the way, the Qatar, it's the first participation on Asian Olympic
really?
Games. Yeah, because they don't have the snow and ice
I
game.
can imagine, makes sense.
So some Middle East, they come here for the first time. One of them is one Qatarian that he play one race with one Chinese, and unfortunately he fall down. Then after that he hide his legs to don't hurt the other players, and
so
was very
sweet.
fair play and get very trends in China, and see how these kind of games let the people and let the countries get closer to each other, and with the fair play, with the respect. And after the Chinese player, he win, everybody clap for him, and that's all. So this kind of games, it show many things about, also like about, we are talking about Lantern Festival, and now we are talking about the games, and it has a relationship because it comes all on the winter time or the spring. We can say the start of springtime. It has many values also for China, and it shows China as a country for tourism, winter tourism. Not only because some people when they talk about the Chunjie or they talk about the spring times, they say that the best time to come to China is on the spring. But now it's the China, it shows the opposite, that you can come on the winter. Harbin, it's the best place for winter, but there's many places that need to be open your eyes to see it, because China is a huge country.
Yes, you can come to China always at any time of the year.
Yeah, we talk about winter, we talk about Xinjiang, for example. They have also snow. They have this kind of games also. They have Harbin, they have Beijing.
Yes.
Also Chonli, like it hosts before the Olympic Games. So China has many places that can
China has
play
a
this
lot
kind
to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Qatar was its first time there participating in the games. Another country, Saudi Arabia, their first time participating in the Asian
also
Winter
UAE.
Games. Also UAE, yeah. And with all of this, all of these countries participating for the first time in the development of the snow and ice economy in the Arab world now, how do you see this development in the Arab world?
For me, as an Arabic, I felt firstly honored and proud to see these kind of players. Why? Because just few years ago we don't have these kind of players. It means there is some development. There is some huge development, especially if you know that these kind of countries, they have no snow. It's known by the desert and these things. But let me maybe shock you a little bit that these kind of countries now, they have even skating, not on the snow, only the snow, but on the desert.
No way.
Yeah, they have. If you go to Dubai now or Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, you can see some people, they skating on the desert and on the snow, because there is a lot of huge resorts, touristic resorts, also some big malls that they have inside, they have the snow, they create the snow, and all this kind of technology, they collaborate with Chinese partners to learn from the Chinese examples. Because if you back to some few years ago, you will not see some people in the other side of the world say China will host this kind of big events. But now, recent years, we see how many Chinese, they get, even the snow and ice game winter, it gets very popular recently in China, and many people, they try to go to experience these things and to see these things. So it's the same in Arabic countries, especially in the Middle East countries. They have a potential, they want to improve themselves in this kind of games, because these kind of games also could affect and impact the society and the local economy. And yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah. I have to say that sandboarding, or I don't know what you call it, sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to try it one day.
Yeah, me too.
Going back to Saudi Arabia, so I believe they're hosting the next Asian Winter Games in 2029.
Yeah, exactly.
What would this mean for winter sports in the Arab world?
Firstly, it's gonna break one thing that we have it in Arabic. We like the classic sports like football, basketball, tennis maybe. So now they're gonna open their eyes to the new sport. Not only that, they're gonna practice it. They're gonna love it, I'm pretty sure, because as Chinese friends, they love it, we could love it, because when you go to skateboarding or skating, it's risky, it's more adrenaline, it's more things, and also could affect the local economy, not only in tourism, but also in technology, because nowadays we can see that Chinese, they use the technology, AI, the artificial intelligence in many things, including the sport. And if we back to 3 years before, I think, when the Beijing hosts the the Olympic Winter Games, they use some new technology to serve the players, to make them comfortable in their place that affects even their player themselves. Even when they back, they say that we have and we enjoyed and we experienced some new things in China. So these things also could collaborate. Nowadays, our Arabic relationship between China is get more and more stronger, and that could help us to collaborate and learn from Chinese examples.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of people coming back to say how they felt about this big sports events in China, we actually have a Jordanian photographer who wants to share with us about his feeling watching the 9th Asian Winter Games. Let's take a look.
I'm grateful to be part of the Jordan team and to be a photographer in Asian Winter Games. This is a new experience for me. It's cold here, but the people are nice and doing a great job. I wish our player the best of luck. Thank you to China and Harbin City for the wonderful organization. I wish more success and excellence to China. Chichen.
And the Asian Winter Games have been a real spectacle even for foreign audiences, with China's visa-free policy rules relaxing. There's been a lot more foreigners being able to experience the game. And so let's go and find out some of their reactions to the opening ceremony with this video.
It was mind-boggling.
China always amazes us.
I was very impressed. It's a well organized and beautiful show tonight.
It was really nice. It's kind of similar to Hanchu opening ceremony, but it's kind of updated and more colorful. And I like the skiing thing, what they did in the end with the little girl. Oh, it was really beautiful.
Do you see elements of Harbin?
Yes, of course. I seen a lot. Nature, snow, and I like how they put all nations together, all kind of nationalities and countries, and they dress them up in costumes. It was a nice idea.
Yeah, it was a fantastic show, and yeah, really like all the cultural elements from China. That's always very fascinating to see, and like amazing performers, amazing costumes, and it just felt very special. And I think I can say it in all of our names that we just feel very welcomed to Harbin and to China, and we're very, very excited to be here. Hopefully one of these days we will make it. It looks fantastic in the pictures, and I'm very happy that the flame was lit there.
I really enjoyed it. Really beautiful and a lot of great songs, and I think you can see that people have put a lot of effort of actually putting this together, so it's really, really beautiful. The ice city at the end over there where the fire was actually flame. So I guess there are a lot of those ice sculptures. I haven't had a chance to go and visit that place yet, but that's one of my lists to do over here.
I do have to say that.
That's amazing.
I do have to say sports do has its own charm.
Yeah.
And Joseph, I know you were in Beijing for 2008 Beijing Olympics. So I wonder, what are your observations over the years in terms of economic gains from those big events, big sports events? Well, let's take Asian Winter Games, for example.
Yes, that's right. I was in Beijing just after the Olympics in 2008, and I saw what a massive boost that had for the economy back then. And it's exactly the same now with the Asian Winter Games. The tourism, the infrastructure development, the digital infrastructure, everything is really making it a great spectacle and increasing the economic wealth of not just Harbin, but all over China. For example, we've seen a 30% boost in tourism numbers over the Harbin Winter Games, and a 388% boost in travel tours. That's a huge number.
Wow. Yes.
And so I want to ask, turn it over to Zhang actually. So since the 2022 Winter Olympics and up until now to 2025, how incredible has the boom in the ice and snow economy been? Can you give us your take on that?
Yeah, sure. So I think Beijing 2022 Olympics, like more Chinese citizens know about ice and snow sports. And Harbin 2025, like more kids like trying to participate the winter sports. And you can look at the young ice hockey team players in Team China, and they play so hard and great right now. And they're right now in the semifinal. And now the ice and snow sports industry is also increasing fast in China recently. And by the way, and after I come to Harbin working during this whole year, I already learned to learn how to ski. And I was learning in the biggest indoor ski field next to my apartment. And I learned like 6 courses, and now I know how to paddle skiing well. And I plan to go to ski to Yabuli, the set, the the place in our Harbin 2025, the competition venue after the game.
Well, I think you're definitely going to have a lot of company when you go to Yabuli, because there's definitely going to be a lot of visitors, tourists also going there after the game. Well, China is promoting that 300 million people participating in ice and snow sports. And right now, this initiative has changed from a vision to reality. And you know, according to some official data, that by 2027, that the total scale of ice and snow economy in China will reach about 1.2 trillion yuan, which is about 164 billion US dollars. That's a really big number. Yes, and by 2030, the total scale of that will reach about 1.5 trillion yuan, which is about 205 billion US dollars.
Wow.
That's really impressive.
That's
yes,
really big.
and actually the Harbin's tourism boom is a best testifying to showing that China's ice and snow economy is thriving right now. And Alina, I know that you and Harbin City has a long history. So can you tell us about your observation about Harbin's development over the years? And can you share with us what's your take on the China's ice and snow economy?
Yeah, I mean, Harbin for me, I have special feelings for that city because I've been studying there and living there exactly 10 years ago. I've been there in 2014 for Chinese courses and in 2016. So it's been like 10 years. And the change that I've seen in Harbin is just terrific. I mean, I get there 10 years ago and Harbin was always nice. But it felt for me like more like industrial city developing. It seemed to me a little bit gray. And in the winter, of course, everyone knew that there is a festival of ice and snow, but it just didn't have that scale. I mean, it was popular, but mostly, I believe, among people from Dongbei provinces, like from the northeast of China. Well, I may be wrong, but I've been there and I didn't see a lot of tourists. And the change that I've seen after 10 years when I go to Harbin, it's actually became as Chinese people call it, 国际滨, which means international Harbin. I see like from the facilities of the city, it became so much convenient. And a lot of people in China, they call them 南方小土豆, like small potatoes from South China, which is so cute. I mean, of course, people from South, they did not get used to that cold weather. So the Harbin people just make everything so they can feel like home there and warm. And so after 10 years, I see that Harbin has done a big step, like a big change into that direction. From the facilities, it became more international, I can say. And I've been, as I said just yesterday, in the Festival of Ice and Snow, and I've never, I know that this time they have the biggest festival of all time. I mean, imagine that being the largest festival of ice and snow in the world. And this year it has even the biggest territory, the biggest scale. I mean, how can it become even bigger, you may say? I just read the notice today in the morning that it's been more than 3 million people that have visited it this year since the opening in December. And just imagine the whole world of ice and sculptures built by people. I do not know how. Every time I go there, I just can be but surprised and amazed. And a lot of foreigners, a lot of people from all around the world, from different provinces of China. So if you have not been there yet, I really recommend you. And what really made me honored and proud for Harbin is when my Russian friends, my foreign friends, when I say that I go to Harbin, they say, "Oh wow, you're so lucky. So you can see the festival of ice and snow." So which means that Harbin became so popular not only in China, but his fame just went all around the world. Because if 10 years ago I asked someone, where do you want to go for winter vacation, the answer can be anything but Harbin. But this time, when you see, like, if you open social media in China, you can see that Harbin, like 冬天来了，必须来 Harbin 一次。It's like, which means like when the winter is here, like you cannot stand but to go to Harbin. So which made me so
Harbin's
proud.
definitely from a local city to a 国际兵, just like you mentioned, international Harbin. Well, next time if I ever get a chance to go to Harbin, I'm definitely going to invite you to be my guide, Alina. You're basically a local. And speaking of winter sports, we know that Russia has a strong presence in winter sports. So Alina, in your opinion, what do you think the kind of cooperation can China and Russia do in the future?
Well, that's true. Russia is very good in winter sports, and we showed great results before in the Olympic Games held in Beijing. And even I know that our Russian figures like Anna Sherbakova and Kei Bao, they call her Kamila Valieva, they're super famous in China, and we had the chance to interview them. They say every time they go to China, they feel like home, thanks to the support of Chinese audience. So in the sport field, I don't think that what cooperation we may have is the word to define that. It's the cooperation that we have been having and we actually having right now. Because if you like, even from this year, we can see the Russian coach Anastasia Bliznyuk started to coach the Chinese national team for gymnastics, and they got the gold for the first time in history in gymnastics in Paris Olympic 2024. We can see the Russian coach Leonid Slutsky joined the Shanghai Shenhua football team, and they're also getting the amazing results. So just in January 2025, the Russia and China have been having the Russian-China Winter Games, which is actually the fourth time we've been having this. So the cooperation between Russia and China in sport has been, is having, and will be having. It will have our countries to get even closer. Even though I cannot imagine the better it can be, is now it's like on the highest level of history. And being a Russian just made me so proud, and looking forward for our countries to get better results together.
Thank you, Alina. Thank you so much for your insights and for your thoughts. And Joseph, I heard that you actually went to snowboarding in China just a few days ago. How was the experience?
Yeah, on Sunday I tried snowboarding for the first time, and let me tell you, no, it was a wonderful experience, but I was tragic. I was horrible at snowboarding. It did not go well for actually me or any of the CGTN colleagues I actually went with, including one of the producers here, Hi Gift. We all went, to a place about an hour and a half away, and it reminded me a lot of my first time skiing, falling over a lot. You know,
I can resonate.
You can
yes,
resonate?
I think you too.
Sorry?
You can resonate, like first time skiing is definitely about falls.
My first time it was in Chonli also. It was horrible, but it was a good experience.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, but overall actually it was a really interesting and thrilling experience. I was really impressed by a lot of the families, especially the little kids, who were just flying down the mountain past me as I was lying down trying to get up. And also just the digital infrastructure. I mean, you pay with your phone, right? You get a card. With your card, you can use it to get all the equipment, your skis, your protective gear, and you can use it as a pass to get up to the top of the mountain. It's just an incredibly easy, efficient experience. And we even had a teacher who could speak a bit of English, so that really helped us. Ayoub, actually, I want to know, have you ever tried any winter sports in China, and were you as bad as me?
Like many Chinese, the Olympic Winter Games, it's impacted me. It's it's encouraged me also to go to try this experience, because I find it the wonderful weather, the wonderful atmosphere there. So last year I have one program that's called Chinese Culture in Arabic. We show it to our Arabic audiences, and we went to Chonli to try these things and to have this kind of experience in one resort, touristical resort, and it was fantastic. It was unbelievable experience, unforgettable experience. As you mentioned, there is a lot of coach, but there is the atmosphere. It's good. There is a lot of mountains that has snowing. People they playing skateboarding. They have skating. They have a lot of games, and the atmosphere also with the music, with everything you can find there, and the people with the clothes, traditional clothes like hanfu, they come there. A lot of musical group, and the atmosphere it's really good. And I find these things it's impact not only the economy, local economy, but impact also the other Chinese, how to change their mind to discover and explore the new games, ice and snow games. And it's wonderful things, especially for people around Chonli, like Beijing people, if they want to get because no, Beijing is the capital. It's people they work here. The life here it goes so fast. So if you wanna chill out a little bit, you can go with the family, with the friends, skating, skateboarding, whatever the game you play is gonna be wonderful. At the end, I tried it, and it was very. Sometimes I was not. It was more horrible than you because you already tried. But me, it was my first time. Fall down, go until I succeed. But the feeling that gave it to me, it's still I will keep it in the whole my life in my mind, because it's wonderful. The adrenaline when you feel scared of falling, then you fall, then you get up, then you try again and say, oh, I'm gonna succeed this time. Then it was tired day, but wonderful day. And there is a lot of people that go there, not only local people, not only Chinese people, but I find a lot of foreigners. Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned before, there is a lot of coaches that they speak not only English, but Russian, and also the German language. Wow, get impressed. And you don't need even to buy the materials of skating. You know, you need the cask, you need the jackets, you need the boots, you need a lot of things. But you can rent all these things. They have everything there. Whatever you are foreigner, for example, sometimes you know there is like some facilities that you think maybe it's important. Like some foreigners, me for example, I love coffee, some things, but sometimes you go to some place you don't find the coffee. But there they have everything. The weather, everything. And to be honest, it's not only in Chonli. As our guests, they mentioned they're in Harbin, Xinjiang. I saw the same things. So I think the economy of ice and snow and the culture of ice and snow get more extended in China and outside of China. That show them that China, they are going in these things in future, and ice and snow, they have future in China.
Well, I have to say, the joy and passion I can feel from
when
you
was so excited.
Experience. It's exactly what this ice and snow sports is bringing to all of us. And well, even though we still have a lot, I know that for sure we want to share with our audience. Here comes to the ending part of today's show. Well, through today's talk, we've known that behind this ice and snow booming is the constant practice of Chinese-style modernization. Well, the most important indicator of Chinese modernization is actually people's health. So from ice and snow sports to mass sports, hundreds of thousands of Chinese people participating in this healthier lifestyle. It's also making China a more vibrant and more healthier country.
Sure. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. It is making Chinese people a lot more healthy. It's giving them a lot more to do in the winter times and the winter conditions. And I saw firsthand actually on Sunday how healthy a lot of Chinese people seem to be, a lot more healthy than me, it turns out. But yes, the Chinese modernization is really shown through the snow and ice economy, I think. From the visa-free access, you're seeing a lot more foreign tourists come and check out these facilities. You're seeing it through the infrastructure, the physical and digital infrastructure, and you're just seeing it in the tourism numbers alone, as we were talking about before. 30% increase in Harbin during the Games is incredible. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot more improvement and a lot more people enjoying winter sports in China.
Yeah, sure. And coming up next is another live stream of the Lantern Festival celebration during the 9th Asian Winter Games by CGTN reporters, by my colleagues. So stay tuned.
And we're going to leave you with some spectacular views of Zhang Bridge in Harbin. So from all of the team here, goodbye and have a good evening or morning or whatever time it is in your location.
Happy Lantern Festival.
Happy Lantern Festival. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.